way in that other room. Is that locked?
The doorway is wide open on the other bedroom at this level.
Okay. And is there anything that we can look around in here to try and discern if this is Gertruda's room?
You can investigate if you like.
I would
I
like.
will also. This will be my crap roll.
You can assist if you want.
Okay, I'm assisting your
All
your
right.
investigation.
Oh my god, my
Gertrude's
cat is
room.
knocking down all my shit. It is just driving me nuts.
That's what
Investigation.
cats do best.
Alright, here's one. And here's two. I'll take the 11. It's not great, but it's better than a 4.
It's better than a kick in the head.
That's true too.
Anything is better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, except a kick in the balls. I mean, I'm just
Well,
saying.
I don't have those, so I guess I'm good.
It's like kicking the ovaries, but external.
Yeah.
Or a punch in the throat.
It's a lot worse than that.
I'll take your word for it.
So, looking throughout, it's hard to tell exactly who or what may have been staying here. The one thing you are able to determine, though, is that there is some disturbed dust near the window that is more recent than anything else that you've seen so far.
Okay.
But it's hard to put a date stamp or anything like that because it's slightly different, but it is different.
Does it look like that window is still barred?
The windows are all still boarded up.
Hmm.
But it's hard to tell whether or not the boards were there before and then replaced, or if they were put on after. That is hard to tell.
I'm just going to point out to the people that are in the room. It looks like there's been more recent disturbance on this windowsill than anywhere else. So maybe if Gertruda left or was taken, it was via this window.
That would make sense.
So, considering her reaction, I think Gertruda probably has some ties to Strahd in some way.
Perhaps we can ask
Ismark,
Irene.
Irina. Yeah.
Doesn't everyone here have some sort of tie to Strahd at this point?
He's very well stratified.
Yeah,
Good
but
point.
not close personal intimate ties.
We should put the furniture back and lock the door.
Yeah. Alright, let's go. We'll look out for this Gertruda and let her know that her mother is looking for her, but
Before Frost leaves, though, can I give Mary one of my rations?
How would you go about doing that?
I would just set it on the floor in front of her.
Okay, that's easy enough to do. Yeah.
Does she look very unwell?
She's very thin.
Okay. So she just walks in and she doesn't say anything to Mary and just puts it down on the floor in front of her. So if she notices it, she'll still see it. And Cross is just gonna leave the way she came.
walk back
Okay.
downstairs and reunite with the party.
Yeah, and put all the furniture back to where it was.
Yeah, the party downstairs. We should talk at Ismark and Irina's place. Saying that to Sparkle and everyone else that's in the entranceway. Cat.
Okay. Are we ready to go?
I think so.
He's not a ghost?
She's not. She's alive.
Well, that's
A little
good.
weird.
I think everybody in this town is a little weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say what is normal in this town at least.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll help move the furniture back and make the barricade.
Do we happen to see the pastry lady again?
So you make the barricade and relock the door. It's a lot easier to relock than to unlock, apparently.
I need to make another roll?
No,
Okay.
you're able to recall the combination of what got you there. So as you all are, I had to make sure I'm on the right, what you call it, As you leave the house, you see the old woman with the cart here in the main walkway start walking down this direction, down the main thoroughfare.
Oh, good. She is not coming our way.
Not currently.
All right. About what time is it? Still just afternoon.
It's a little bit afternoon at this point.
And we're not that far from Ismark and Irina's house, right?
No, you're only a couple hundred feet off, maybe
Okay.
300 feet at the most.
We should regroup.
Yeah, let's go regroup. Let's prepare and get that whole thing settled. With Irina, I know that Sparkle and I have to do a little bit of
Work.
interesting artistry
Yes, we are going to do
on
that.
Irina.
Okay, so you're able to make it back to the house, and Irina is there. However, Ismark still has not yet returned.
Oh, oh.
He's got a his dad's got that dump truck. He's got to be digging for a while. I guess we should probably let her know that it's us so she can let us in, right? Because she's probably still on red alert.
So, out of game, we'll say that there was actually a
The code word.
yeah.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to seem like a silly person. Be like, you don't need a code word. But I was thinking.
We'll say for this instance, there was one set up in between Ismark and Irina, and you all are aware of it.
Can
Okay.
it be apple pie? Can it be apple pie?
Did you say cow pie?
Apple pie.
Oh.
That's the code word, apple.
Do not get those two confused.
You'll have a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so gross.
Irina, I could really go for an apple pie. That's,
I thought you
That
only
was-
liked cow pies.
that was my Groth impression.
Fair.
Needs work. But you've got the spirit of it.
Thanks.
Sure,
Yeah, so
fine.
knock knock, code word, let us in sort of thing. We're not Strahd.
Knock, knock. Haster, open the door, please.
Knock knock. Who's there, Strahd?
Combination of allspice, like 7 to 8 apples.
So we can recap the party with the fact that Mad Mary lost her daughter, Gertruda, apparently in some way, shape, or form, in some connection with Strahd, we're assuming at this point, considering her reaction. And she misses her dearly. That's why she's wailing day in and day
That's
out.
really sad.
It is. For a mother to be separated from her offspring is probably one of the worst things that could ever happen.
Well, how old is the little girl?
Sister
I mean-
shrugs.
What if she's lost in the woods and can't find her way home?
I don't think it's that simple.
Hmm.
Irina, I think Croft mentioned that perhaps your brother mentioned it before. Did Strahd have interest in other women?
Strahd has interest in most people.
Let me correct that sentence. Has Strahd gone about wooing / abducting other individuals besides yourself?
That I don't know.
Okay. Did you know Gertruda?
Oh, I've met her once or twice. She was a lovely lady.
So she's a lady then.
She's
We could not discern her age from her mother.
probably early 20s.
Ah. Alright.
And just for party reference, as you were walking away from the house, the wailing started again. FYI.
Okay.
I forgot to add that in earlier.
Okay, that's not creepy.
Well, she wants us to look for her daughter for her. So if we find her daughter, we should let her know that her mother misses her dearly.
Side quest assigned.
So
Check
we're
that
looking
box off.
for a 20-ish female with blue eyes, brown hair.
Correct. Goes by Gertruda. Probably in with a vampire crowd.
So just to get this, are we going to hesitate to kill her, or are we planning to rescue her?
I guess we
quote-unquote?
don't know what she is.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know if she's just someone who has been abducted and is a prisoner. We don't know if she's a vampire. We don't even know if she's technically even at the castle. But
What, Reginald?
Yeah, again, I would take what Mary said with a grain of salt, but we'll
Yeah.
go off. We'll go off that though. I guess we'll listen to her.
Also-
Burton wants to crunch something.
You know, I
Cons-
think when you get to Crest, we need to talk to somebody who has more expertise about vampire lore and undead in general, because it seems people here are either not knowledgeable
I think they're hiding it
or
from us.
They probably don't want to cross Strahd.
I think so.
I've never been here ever, but it just seems like everybody knows what's going on. They just don't want to let on that they do
Maybe-
know.
Maybe they're in denial, or they're pretending to be ignorant to protect themselves.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We-
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
we have to remember, and this is something that Kanoon and I were talking about early on, is a failed uprising was very recent. These people are probably very scared and do not want to try and step out even a small bit from Strahd, who's already now crushed and probably destroyed a lot of their family members.
Yeah.
The only thing that possibly might have rivaled him, this wizard, has gone and dead, in theory dead, I put quotation marks around. So the fact that these people are once again powerless and they now have to deal with the ramifications of those actions, they're probably not willing to help us and or even want to work with us.
Yeah, that's fair.
In
enough.
fact, they might resent our intrusion with force.
Do you think any of these people are cooperating with Strahd?
I would be
think
surprised
that
if they
might.
I would be surprised if they weren't.
Mhm.
Considering that if he is as powerful as everyone seems to either be worried that he is, being on his good side is not a bad thing, which is why I brought up to Ismark bringing Irina to Vallaki, a city that is larger than here, might have more people that want to try and trade Irina for Strahd's good favor, but
Perhaps we should stop telling people where we are headed.
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, the
That-
only people that I told was the insane priest and the insane woman, so.
You know,
Oh,
people
great.
who could be controlled easily.
If Strahd comes here and he decides I'm going to break into this crazy woman's house and control her, I would be very surprised that that's the most important thing he has to do today.
I think he already did that with her daughter.
Maybe. Assumingly, yeah.
You know, seeing as how she freaked out when you brought up the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for Irina, is she's just sitting there listening to us chit chat.
She is listening intently to the group chat right now.
Okay.
I. Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask her, what do you know of Kresk?
Kresk is rather far. It's as if it's on the opposite side of the map. It is another day and a half past Vallaki, but there is a strong abbey there. Do you feel like that would be safer than Vallaki?
That's what Donovich said, but Donovich isn't all quite there anymore.
Well, what worries me is that if Strahd has all these spies and cohorts everywhere, it could easily be opened from the inside, no matter how sturdy the fortress may be.
True. If we just went to holy ground and we know that there was probably things not right there, I don't know how much more powerful an abbey would be than the chapel we just left. What can you tell us about Valaki, considering that we don't know anything about it either?
I don't know much, only that it's a stronghold, a safe place to be able to go to.
It's a stronghold that, as in, it's safe from
It's
Strahd.
stronger than Barovia.
What?
It doesn't loom in the shadow of the castle.
I think that would make a big difference.
Do they have walls?
I've never been there.
Walls would be an improvement.
When have walls ever helped anybody anywhere?
Definitely not crossed, especially when there's like a whole bunch of rats hidden in them.
Yeah.
Night's Watch did not have a great time with them.
Right? Yeah, I just have like the worst luck with the walls and doors and such.
I see your wall and I raise you a dragon.
Right. They should probably prefer a dragon.
We could
at least
also.
that has-
There's also the option of we could go to Valaki and ask the question along the way to try and see if we can get anything, or while we're there, anything else about this abbey and make the decision on our way. Or while we're there and just determine that Valaki's not actually a safe spot, we can go to the abbey if we need to.
Well, you are strong adventurers, it seems. Stronger than I, for sure. If you feel that Valaki is not safe or the safest option, then I will gladly leave that in your hands. I know that my brother has entrusted you to take me to Valaki, but my safety is important to me, too.
Is there a place here in the village that we might be able to rent or procure a wagon instead of having to walk?
I wouldn't count on much of anything from Barovia, truth be told.
Cross is really gonna like light bulb. Like, do you know of a lady that goes door to door and sells pastries?
I know a man who does. He lives in Drury Lane.
Pastries, no, I don't know of anybody like that.
We saw a woman going door to door knocking, selling pastries for a gold each.
An older lady.
We did not approach her.
She
not
did
seem
have
to
like
see
a
us.
wagon, didn't she?
She had a
With
cart.
a cart.
Or
Yeah.
Well, if trade is happening in the city, that would be a good thing, right?
Is that usual to go door to door here?
it doesn't
I-
seem like anyone ever goes out.
I don't get out much, to tell you the truth, but I would assume that if trade were to resume, it would have to start with a outstretched palm rather than a closed fist.
Well, I guess the current plan then would be we head on our way to Valaki, and we get as much information we can on our way to both Valaki. We get as much information as we can about Valaki and the Abbey, and either when we get to Valaki and or before we get to Valaki, we can make the decision of where we need to change pace if we need to. If we get to Valaki, we might actually get there and realize this isn't a safe place and then have to change.
Right.
But we don't know until we get there. We know probably less than you do about this place, considering we're not from here.
This seems wise. Perhaps we just wait for my brother before we depart.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, yeah. Maybe we should like prepare some lunch and wait for him to get back. I
That
can
sounds
help
spectacular. Oh, perfect.
Kanoon is a chef.
Oh yeah, I got this.
He served the what royal guard?
Lord, don't make me look up stuff.
But Murgle.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Too goddamn time.
So the group starts to prepare a lunch feast before setting out, and after about another half hour or so, Ismark returns to join the group. And as the group sits down to eat another meal before departing the township of Barovia, that's where we'll leave today's session at.
For the record, first lieutenant of the second Colomancy division, second course of the King's Entree Guard.
There you
There
go.
you go. Like, how could you forget that?
Can
I failed.
can Sparkle and Cicero try and disguise Irina?
Let's start with that next time.
Okay.
Oh, goody.
Well, we'll start with Operation Makeover in our
This is
next
gonna be
session.
fun.
That will be fun.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I did this or not. How can I tell if I just linked the primal knowledge? How do I find out if I added proficiency or not?
If it didn't give you the option to select one during the level up, which it should have. Hang on here.
It's where are my skills?
So you have you have animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival that you're proficient in. Do you remember selecting any of those at your level up?
No. I do not. And I don't have my character sheet, so I don't know which ones are.
Give me a second. Barbarians get.
Because athletics and I mean, you should select, I think, 2 at character creation. I want to say maybe more.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
it's
2 of them.
2.
And she has
Oh.
6.
Yeah. So
What's your
barbarians would get 2 from animal handling, athletics, intimidating, nature, perception, and survival. So 2 from those.
And then
so
whatever
athletics or
background.
survival for your background?
Okay.
So
So there
You
should
are-
be 5 if it's done correctly. If it's not, unless you also get one for half orc,
Yeah.
which you might.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're at 6 right now. So I would say you're set up right.
Okay. And I don't think I get one for being a half orc.
I think you might get
You
intimidation.
might.
You do.
Wait, do I
you get
get-
intimidation.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
did
what I was
forget
thinking.
one. Okay. So I'm sorry. Can you tell me what my barbarian thing is? Is it animal handling?
Athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival.
Yes.
I already have all those. So,
Right. Yeah, those are the ones you're proficient in.
So what does it mean then for you gain proficiency in one skill of your choice from the list of skills available at the first level? If I already have them all, then does
Well, that
not-
means that one of those you selected at level up.
Yeah.
One of the ones that you had skill points in, you selected to be proficient in.
If you're proficient in 6 skills, then it's correct.
Was
Yeah.
that a barbarian thing, or did everybody get extra?
It was a barbarian.
It's a
Okay.
barbarian class.
Okay,
thing.
you
I was
said
gonna
I
say,
got,
did I make something wrong on mine?
so I got intimidation for being a half orc,
Yes.
and then
Correct.
I got 2.
You should have 4 at level 1, and then you should have gotten 1 more at level 3. So you should have
Okay.
6 total.
6 total, so I'm good.
Yeah, if you have
Gotcha.
6
Yeah.
total, then you are good. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, then. Sorry, hold on. And then my next question is, if we get to level 10, since I already have everything in that list.
Then you get to choose one of your choice.
Right.
Oh,
Anything
okay.
that's left on the list: acrobatics, arcana, deception, history, insight,
It's a free
etc., so on and so
choice.
forth.
It's a
Yeah.
freebie. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
I was
kinda
looking at
handy.
that going, I already have all of these. Okay.
Yep. At that
Yeah.
point, then you get a free choice of what you want to be proficient in.
Okay.
You want Croft to start being proficient in history? Go ahead.
Nah, she's not book smart.
No, I don't. Medicine is actually a pretty good one for stabilizing, but I don't know if you're going to be stabilizing while you're recklessly attacking people.
Oh,
Right.
you never
You get-
know.
Get persuasion. It's like a kind intimidation.
I could do that. She could do that.
I would really prefer